All right.
We talking about what we talking about. I can do this all day. What we talking about? What we talking about? What we talking about? I ain't feeling what we stand. What we talking about? From time to time, every set of brothers argue. You gotta listen in to catch a glimpse here from our view. I finish every debate that I'm in. Gonna start it up in time tomorrow. We run it again. Ain't no stopping us. What we talking about? What we talking about? I can do this all day. What we talking about? What we talking about? What we talking about? I ain't feeling what you stand. What we talking about?
I think the song is over, isn't it? I mean, I'm not sure what I'm not sure what we got going on. But all right, man, we're back for another episode of the Arguing Brothers podcast, fellas. How y'all doing?
We good, baby.
Good, big dog.
It's always good to hear. We got a guest in the building. I didn't realize we are gonna have a guest, but hey, man, it's good to have one.
Man, you knew that, bro. Stop playing.
You send that out? I don't recall
Yes,
seeing
I
it.
I called and talked to you, bro. Don't act like
Man,
that.
somebody forgot to add that on there then. All
Man,
right.
you know, age is something else, bro. You know, he hit 40 now, bro. His memory.
Oh,
is
he
not
done hit
long.
40?
No,
Okay.
it could be. It could be the 40-year-old plug. I have no idea, but it's good to have you on, brother. How you doing?
Hey man, how y'all doing? Blessed to be on, man. Appreciate you sharing your platform with me.
Oh man, we appreciate you having you on, man. Well, we want to go ahead and jump into it because I know we got something coming up next week. What we're going to be covering, helping out. So we want to go ahead and talk about that first and foremost. Donton.
Go ahead. So next week we got the Gridiron Gang, sponsored by Ratcliff Thomas. So I want to say thank you first for, allowing us to be a part of this big event, to showcase a lot of DMV kids and kids from other states who are coming in to show their talents, to put on a great show, for us with their families, friends, people coming in from different areas to just really show that, there's a lot of great athletes in different areas around here today. And this is put on a great showcase for everyone. So we appreciate you for allowing us, to be a part of this event. I know it's going to be a great event for kids of different ages to put on. So we appreciate you for letting us be a part of this.
Absolutely, man. Glad to have y'all on board, man.
So at the end of the day, just give us a recap of, what's going to be going on, how everything is going to take place, and just let the people know how it's going to be far as, kids being out there showing their talents and just bringing everybody together as one.
Yeah, so when we first did this game last year, was our inaugural year, and it was really just an all-star game. We split the DMV down the middle, and we had North against South. So it was such a good event, and we got so much positive feedback. We decided to expand out to different regions. So this year, we really went east, north, south, and west. We went to went up north, up to Pennsylvania, and had tryouts. Came back to the DMV, had tryouts. Went out to West Virginia and had tryouts, and we went down to Raleigh, North Carolina, and had tryouts. So all four of those regions will be competing against each other in the youth all-star tournament. So outside of just having a game, we decided to make it try to make it a better experience for the kids. So we're gonna have an all-star weekend format. So we're gonna come in Friday morning, April 12th, and we're gonna just do different events all day. Just let the kids have fun, enjoy the great facility that we have in St. James. We're gonna have 4 stations that the kids rotate through. First, the media station, which the Arguing Brothers podcast and several other podcasts will be interviewing the kids, the coaches, parents, and we'll also be taking team pictures on the other side of that, the media day room. The next station is the award ceremony. So each team will get their name called, and they'll come up and they'll get their certificates and they get on that Gridiron Classic gift. Each kid receives a Gridiron necklace, for making their region's all-star team. And then we have a tour of the St. James. I know a lot of people haven't heard of it. A lot of people haven't been there. So it'd be a good time for the people of St. James to take each region around and show them the facility. And you say, well, that might not be that big a deal. St. James is 450,000 square feet.
Right.
So, I don't know if you know what that means, but I'm pretty sure it's the biggest sporting facility in the country. They got everything from.
Don't they have two facilities now? They have one in Bethesda, correct?
I thought so.
Yeah. So the one in the Bethesda is sort of like a regular facility. That's probably about 60,000 square feet. You know what I mean? So that's like one of the regular facilities. This one is called the Mothership. They got everything in it: an NFL style football stadium, two NHL size hockey rinks, Olympic size swimming pool, all kinds of basketball courts, a golf center, 3 floors of workout facility. I mean, it has everything. Arcades, water parks, gymnastic room, just everything for the kids to enjoy. So we want to give them a chance to enjoy that. And then the 4th station will be a walkthrough practice for the kids to have time to get with their coaches, get their game plan together, and have a good time. So we're going to do that from 9 to 1. Then at 1 o'clock, we're going to serve the kids lunch right there in the stadium. So they're going to go up to the top of the stadium, grab lunch, and as they're getting their lunch, we decided to make it fun for them. We're going to have a mom's flag football game.
That's amazing. That's nice.
So that's going to be interesting. The kids get to sit back and watch their mom play flag football and cheer for them instead of them cheer for the kids. So that should definitely be interesting. After the flag football game, we're going to go to a Pro Bowl style field day. So we're going to have a quarterback competition, wide receiver catcher competition, fastest man, big man challenge, and just let the kids rock and have fun. After that, I think the first event is the 6U scrimmage, and then at 4 o'clock we start actually playing games. We have games probably from 8 o'clock up to 9 o'clock for that day, and then we go all the way throughout the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, playing games. And Sunday would be the championship day, the teams that advance to the championships, to see who get those rings and hoist a trophy. So we just plan on having a great event. We're excited. Everybody's excited. We've been building this up for a while, doing things like we had a live draft, a live sort of roster announcement, a draft. So excited about that. The kids get these unique player cards with all the information on it. I mean, they're dope. So we're gonna laminate the player cards, give them lanyards, put them around their neck. They're gonna have those with the Gridiron Classic medallion. Some of the kids bought the Gridiron Classic sweatsuits. So I mean, they're gonna be walking around feeling like $1 million, feeling like little rock stars. We just trying to do extra things to make the experience great for them.
Yeah, believe me, I know, because my kid got the card, he got the sweatsuit. Yeah, he already asking for the chain already. I'm like, dude, you better play. I don't care about the chain. Look, you better get out there and ball out. So to hear all of that and to see where it started and where it is now, I think it's a great thing, to let these kids rock out, let these kids, show their talents and be the best that they can be. Because a lot of times, a lot of kids get pushed in the background and the parents are being in the forefront where the parents are not playing. They take them to practice, but a lot of it, the kids get pushed in the back. So, like I said, we really do appreciate to be a part of this. And, I think it'll be a great thing for everybody to come out in the DMV to check this talent out. Because there's a lot of great talent in this area that really don't get showcased sometimes because it's other kids that are more outstanding than others. But a lot of these kids now who coming into this game can really show their talent.
Absolutely, man. Every age group is packed with talent. So the trial process was, it was difficult. Some kids didn't get the opportunity to play in it. So the kids that did make it, they should be proud of themselves. They get to play against the best on the East Coast. because the kids are coming from the furthest kid we got up north is Connecticut, the furthest kid out west is Michigan, and the furthest kid down south is Florida. So we covered a lot of ground. No stone unturned to trying to find the best kids that are possible, and just from here we're just going to grow, because a lot we had as we ordered the jerseys, we put stuff together. We just had a slew of people trying to call to get into the game, but I'm not going to do that. It'd be unfair to the kids that been through the whole process, that went to trials, selection process, and now they're ready to go for somebody to just pop up and say, hey, I want to register and play. Nope, got to wait the next year. You know what I mean? So we want the event to be unique and elite. So every year it'll get more difficult for athletes to make the game. And I actually just got off the phone with some folks from Alabama earlier today. So they want to put a region in. The Midwest was like, hey, we got enough dogs out here that we can have our own region instead of them playing with other people's region. So for the future, we're gonna add more regions and make this thing bigger, man, and just keep it going, and just provide a platform for the kids. All the games will be live streamed, so if somebody can't make the event, they can watch their favorite players play via live stream, and go from there, man, and just have a good time. Great experience.
You talked a little bit about like your selection process. Like, what is the criteria? Like, what does each athlete, or what do you guys look for when you're going around and you're selecting your athletes to play in this game?
So here's the thing. Everybody, we open up that registration process to anybody who want to take the opportunity to show off their talents. So we come in and we have a whole trial process. We have the kids broken down into positions. We have people there evaluating the talent, same way from. I mean, of course, there's kids that you already know about, that you've seen from the season, because we try to pick coaches from different areas that know different kids, because everybody don't know everybody, right? But just like anything else, man, the cream really rises to the top, and you can see the separation in some, you can see the hard work ethic of others. So we just try to give all the kids a fair shot, and make the best of their opportunity. Because what we do, as you know, my background is from the NFL. So everything we do at this age group, at this level, we try to make them get ready for the next level. So they got to know when they get to high school, college, and maybe even further, everything is a competition. Everything is earned and nothing is given. So that trial process is ran like almost like a combine, almost just evaluating, critiquing. You know what I mean? I'm walking around with notes. The coaches got notes. So what happens is the coaches and their staff picks 30 players, right? I'm gonna be walking around taking notes. It may be, they pick the 30 and it's good to go. They may pick a 30, and I know I seen a couple kids that's ready to rock. And I'm like, hey, listen, y'all need to relook at this. This kid right here, he did a good job. Just because y'all didn't know him or something like that doesn't mean anything. He earned a spot. So we really try to make it a competitive environment that the kids really earn their spots. So that's the process.
So what do you see yourself going with this tournament? Are you going to move it around, or are you just going to keep it in the DMV next year? Like, what's your expansion plans?
So we know that that is going to grow, because last year we had 200 kids, and so this year already in 1 year we jumped to 500 and something kids. So we know as more people hear about it and it grows, we got to have a contingency plan of how to put it together, right? So St. James has one football field, so we will be using alternate sites this year at local high schools that's nearby. But the goal is to make sure each kid gets the experience playing inside the St. James, right? If your team wins, you got a better chance. You might have a chance to play in the St. James twice. But if your team loses, you probably go to that alternate site. So as this game grows, we add regions. We got to become creative and make sure that everybody's treated fairly. Everybody gets that great experience, and hopefully we keep it in the DMV. But you never know. Like you said, other locations, other sites, other cities. You never know, man. We anything that we could do that give these kids a platform, we're gonna do. You know what I mean? It's a lot of kids across the country. So if we decide to do Gridiron Classic in California, so be it. If that's God's will, what I'm saying, we're open to it.
Yeah, like what's the age range from what the lowest grade to the highest grade? And then my second question is, at the higher grades now with NIL, what is possible for what the Gridiron organization thinking as far as that, trying to keep tapping with these kids from a long-term standpoint?
Absolutely. That's a great question, bro. First of all, this year is 6U through 12U. Last year we did 7U to 13U, right? So we're trying to find our secret sauce and which age groups. So I think next year and moving forward, we're going to stick with that 7U to 13U format. So and that's we got teams from every region at each grade level, right? You're gonna have 4 6U teams, 4 7U teams, so on and so forth. I think this year we got 2 6U teams, so that might be a little too early to start this this big stage. You know what I mean? So we probably start with the 7s next year and go up to 13. And I'm glad you asked about NILs and what do we do or what do we provide for our older kids. First off, we're sponsored by Under Armour, right? Mm-hmm. So when you get in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade, the big thing that all the kids look forward to is making the Under Armour camps, right? So with our partners at Under Armour, what we're able to provide is like kids that play well in our game that we identify as kids that are elite. We can give them Under Armour camp invites. So therefore, I mean, that's huge because it puts you in a small group of kids around the country. You know what I mean? So any way that we can help, that we can catapult our young men going forward in their careers, we're gonna try to do. And we're talking about NILs. We know we're having our DMV Elite Showcase following this game, and we're gonna have a symposium with an NIL company coming out to talk to the parents and talk to the kids, so they can get a better understanding of what it is. Because, like you said, when we were playing back in the day, it was just youth football and it was fun. But now it's becoming a business, and if you're in that position, you need to understand the business side of it. The parents need to understand the business side of it. So any knowledge or resources that we have that we can help these parents understand that, we're going to offer it.
Yeah, that's a good look.
I want to ask a question. I know you said they was going to have like podcast people out there too doing, like interviewing the kids. And so have you guys started working on, I know as y'all grow, about like local news outlet that's coming to, promote it like locally, just on, TV, stuff like that?
Yeah, so I mean, the radio stations, the news stations, we had the guy from Chad Ricardo from Fox 5. He actually announced the games last year. So everybody knows about the games. So what we normally do after the game is done, we usually take a group of kids on a podcast tour or to some news stations and stuff like that to give them a bigger platform. But here in the DMV, if you're in the DMV, and especially if you're in the sports space, youth sports space, everybody knows about the game. You know what I mean? So it's going to be pretty big. And, but we ain't begging nobody to come. You either, you know what I'm saying, you come check it out or you don't. Or you're going to hear about it. Either way, you know what I mean? So
but you know how they get, once they start ringing every year, people hear about it, word of mouth, and then more people want to come, as it grows. So, there's always going to be somebody. I'm going to wait and see what this do to getting on the bandwagon early. You're always going to have that few, those few.
Absolutely, man. When as the wave get bigger, more people want to come. But as you know, everybody can't go with you. So the Ogden brothers, they here at the ground level. So y'all with us, baby. You know what I'm talking about? When we have to turn podcast people away, they can't get in there. Because we got seven different podcasts that's gonna be there. You know what I mean? Some people I know, some people I don't know. Some people I'm dealing with for the first time. But I think 1, 2, 3 or 4 of them, they've done our events before. So, they're pretty grassroots and they got a decent following. You know what I mean? So we grow, the podcast grows, just a bigger platform for the kids. We're trying to get our kids out there, man, because like I said, it's like you said, it gets serious, man. We have a kid. Let me tell a quick story. We got a kid from DC. As a 9-year-old, him and his mom were moved to Atlanta. They were moved to Atlanta, taken care of in Atlanta to play youth football. His 9th-grade year, his 9-year-old year. No, he turned 10 and 11. At 11, they won the Battle National Championship. He got the 11U Heisman, right? Now they return. They just came back here. So as soon as he got back, he knew about the game. He jumped right in the game. You know what I mean? So some of these kids are serious, and that's something. I mean, that's sort of crazy that an organization will pay rent, etc. for a youth league. Especially
they're young. They're young.
And I think that 707 stuff, the 707 that they're doing makes a big difference too, because a lot of kids get seen that way, and they just bring them on to these different teams, and these different regions, like you said. And it makes because Miles played in a game up in Delaware and Philadelphia, and the parents are there, the kids are there, and you can see like certain scouts are there too, checking out like who's legit and who's not legit. And you see a lot of private schools there and a lot of schools there looking at these kids. So it's big. It's big.
So speaking of private schools, any school in the DMV is going to be there. If they're not there, they watch it on live stream. A lot of our kids that's been in our events attend these schools: St. John's, DeMathis, St. Francis. They should attend them. We had our showcase a couple years back. An 8th grader got the MVP of the showcase. After the showcase, he visited St. Francis. They flew him down to IMG. So now he's a sophomore going into his junior year. He's one of the top 5 backs in the country. So the platform is there. You know what I mean? So that we have connections with schools in the area, private and public. So they're at the tryouts. They're gonna be at the games. They're gonna be recruiting the kids. It's just what it is today. That's the temperature of youth sports. That they come out, they recruit the kids, and that's just a part of it. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing.
I want you to expand on that a little bit. How important is those relationships when you're doing an event like you're doing now and having those not university, but also those high schools and other schools. How important are those relationships for you guys to build upon, so that you can keep pushing these kids, or putting these kids in situations that they can be successful?
Man, so I make my rounds, you know what I mean? So I'm a local guy, right? So if you're from this area and football in this area, you know what I mean? Just from my acumen of, playing at TC Williams, playing at the University of Maryland, and during my time in the NFL, I know most people. I'm connected to most programs, all the way from the privates to the publics. You know what I mean? I did some time. I coached at I went back and coached at TC Williams for a little while. You know what I mean? So I have those relationships. There's still some guys that are coaching now that coach when I was going to school. I mean, like you take a guy like Bill McGregor at DeMatha. He was coaching when I was a senior in high school. I can remember DeMatha recruiting me in high school. That's how long these guys been around. So those relationships are important. And what we do, we go on visits, right? Kids are interested in certain schools. We definitely make those connections. That's one of the things we do. We help kids, help guide kids on their journey in football. You know what I mean? So we're here for the help. If they want it, we give it to them. If they want our advice, we give it to them, right? We're not like other programs or this my kid, I want to control this kid. Nah, we're here as a resource. So if you want to use that resource, we're here. The door's open. If you got a question about a program, you want me to check out a program, you want me to pick up the phone and make a call on your behalf, I do all the time. You know what I mean? So we definitely like that, like being connected to the youth league programs, being connected to the high school programs, and it helps what we do and everything we do. You know what I'm saying? It gives it energy. And our other games, so this is the youth game, but we still have other games that we do as well. We do a middle school game and we do a Rising Stars game. Mm-hmm. The middle school game is 7th to 8th graders. The Rising Stars game is 9th and 10th graders. And we also do an international bowl for our 15U team. We have a team coming from China to play against our DMV National All-Stars. I'm still trying to tweak the name. That's going to be in July. So for that game, we have actual high school coaches. The coach that just left Mount Zion, Ty Spinner, he's probably going to be the head coach. And we got all-star kids. We want to get all-star coaches as well to coach those kids up and, you know, have a great experience playing against kids from another country. You know what I mean? They come across the world to play football, so we got to represent for them. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of great events coming up, man. And Big Dog spoke about 7-on-7. And the great thing about that, Cam Newton, CN1, they're coming in town the following month. So they reached out to us, you know what I mean? So we may be doing some things together with those guys. You know what I mean? We're just always looking to make connections, man. Anything that helps our kids, provide a platform, move them forward, we're going to do. We want to connect with anybody, any organizations that want to do the right thing, to do it the right way. Now, if you cut corners, you don't do it right, we probably not going to deal with you.
Absolutely.
Just not. We're just not. So they're like, if you look at our coaching staffs, right, they're going to say, oh, there's a better coach at that age group. Why isn't he coaching? Ask him. Ask him. All my coaches are going to be vetted. Mm-hmm. They're going to be vetted. No, man, we just had a Zoom the other night, and we was just talking about the game and the code of conduct and how we're going to carry ourselves. We're going to be professional at all times to make sure these babies have a great experience. Make sure everything is done fairly. You know what I mean? So we're not going to have, this is my program, or I'm going to play my guys, and we're not going to have any of that foolishness, man. You know what I mean? It's a lot of good all-star events around the country, but we're trying to do something a little different, right? Mm-hmm. Not just come out and play football. No, we're going to have an all-star weekend. When y'all pull up, y'all going to understand what I'm talking about. When y'all feel that energy in the building, them kids walking around, smiling, happy, and that experience, they're not going to forget that. They're not. They might forget a football game they played at 9 years old in some muddy field or somewhere. They might forget that. But this experience, they're not going to forget it. And that's what we want. We want, you know what I mean? We want that kid that's on the borderline that, you know, he liked football, but he's not sure, that he comes to our event and he says, man, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. You know what I mean? So we just excited, man. It's going to be a great time. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm happy that you guys are going to pull up and be a part of it.
Yeah, we're excited to be a part of it too. I have one last question that I got to ask. being that you're TC Williams, I think that what's the
TC
team
Williams.
the Titans, right? Why do you guys don't have lights for your stadium? I need to understand this. Like, I've been wondering for years. Like, why do TC Williams does not have lights at their stadium?
So, I graduated. I'm an old dude, man. I graduated in '92.
And they still don't have lights.
I graduated in '92. I went back to TC in about 07, 08, and I coached there for about 5 or 6 years. And that has been a issue. Like they talked about, it is with so many different rumors flying around, this, that, and the third. But here's the truth. When the school was initially built, they signed a contract with the neighborhood that they would not have lights in that school.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because I remember at one time, if like you have said, if you're from the DMV, Alexandria might have a stigma of fighting, and we couldn't play games at nighttime because you'll get beat up, you'll get jumped, and all this type of stuff. But it was more so of rules that were set in place, you know what I'm saying, a long time ago. And I think so. Since then, they put lights in the stadium, right?
I don't think so, man. I think they still have to play day
No,
games.
no. I think
they have to play somewhere else. I think they have to play somewhere else, or they have to play day games. Man, they got a couple of games at St. James before.
Oh no, they played at the St. James when they was redoing the stadium.
Yeah, they were redoing the stadium. Maybe they put it in then. But I've always wondered because I used to live in Alexandria. I was like, why do you guys not go work out there? I'm like, why don't have stadium lights? And there's always a story like why they don't have stadium lights.
I know when I was in high school, man, and we were ranked in the country all my years that I was there. We never played at nighttime unless it was away. And back then we didn't know why. You know what I mean? We used to always hear about Friday night lights, and we just never got the opportunity. But we did play on the road. But we always played Saturday afternoons at home. You know what I mean? So, but I think that's the real truth of the ordinance that was put in as far as the neighborhood and in the lights. So,
well, I'm glad you cleared that up for me, man. I'm really appreciative. I think nobody else have any more questions.
So one last thing. So just make sure you tell people how to stream the game on Saturday, and if anybody wanted to contact you, how to get in touch with you.
So yeah, we're gonna be streaming the game every day. The Friday games, the Saturday games, and the Sunday games. And the crazy thing about it, we just had the event meeting, man. And so I'm asking my people at St. James. I'm like, hey, do I need to have my guy come out and help stream the game? They was like, nah, AI is streaming the game. I was like, excuse me? They was like, yeah, you just cut it on, then AI follows the action on the field. I was like, okay, I want to see that. You know what I mean? So they'll be streaming the game. You can find the stream information on the website, www.dmvsports.org. You can either go there or you can go to our Facebook group, DMV Gridiron Classic All-Star Series. The information is going to be there as well. To reach out to me, Facebook, IG, all of my names are the same name, Coach Ratcliff Thomas. Reach out with any questions. I know it's going to be a lot of people coming to see their favorite players, to coming to support. So it's going to be a lot of traffic in the building. But thankfully, we have a situation that we can handle all that traffic. Like I said, St. James is huge. I don't know if you guys have been there before, but if you haven't, you're in for a treat, man. You're in for a treat. And the families that are coming there, you know what I mean? They're used to going to different all-star games. They ain't never experienced nothing like this before. You know what I mean? So, it's electric. I had, matter of fact, my guy from China, he's in town. They're getting their visas ready. They had to go to the embassy and all this stuff. So I took him past to St. James yesterday. He played at it's a black guy. He played at the University of Texas. He's just over there getting, the football off the ground. So as we was walking through, we was coming down the stadium stairs. I said, listen, bro, when you step on this field, you're gonna feel a tingle. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So I played in the NFL. I played at every stadium all the college stadium, in Mexico in front of 100,000. Every time we work out, my workout program is Tuesdays and Thursdays at St. James. Every time we go onto the field, bro, I feel some kind of way. So I know a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old step on that field, they just gonna be like, the big stage, baby, the big stage. And we just happy just to be a part of something that can bring, you know what I mean, that experience to our babies. Let them have a good time, man. And we're gonna do everything we can to keep them going and keep them on a positive path and out those streets and in them stadiums.
Yeah, man, we definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, Coach, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you for giving us all this information. We look forward to being a part of it. The event is April the 13th. Starting time, one more time.
12th, April 12th, Friday, April 12th. 8 o'clock is check-in. 9 a.m. we start our rotation of our media day, so people are welcome to pop up and catch some of that. And then we're gonna do the events through the afternoon, and the actual first game don't start until 4 o'clock on Friday, and then we continue through the weekend.
All right, man.
Yes, sir.
Be a part of it, sir. We will see you on the 12th, Friday.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all having me up, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you being here. All right.
Yes, sir.
We back at it.
Yes, sir.
All right, so who you want to go from? You want to do this and shift, or you just want to go? We just go straight into the show.
Go into it.
Really go to record.
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah, we go into it. Let's do it.
All right, man. Let's get into it, man. That was a great opening right there to get that conversation going. We're gonna be very excited to be a part of that event, April the 12th, Friday, at St. James Institution in Springfield, Virginia. A lot of good stuff should come out of this, and I like where we're going with that. Let's dive into a very controversial call that we saw yesterday, last night. Let's start off with that, man. That was big impact. The call heard around the world last night where UConn down 170-69, call a timeout. Gino draws up a play. Could have drawn a better play, by the way. A couple of screens, try to get Page open, and they call a offensive foul for the screen that was set. I can't think of the young lady's name. That was it. Yep. And pretty much that killed the game. They fouled, had to foul again, and we saw the result. Iowa goes to the championship game, which is tomorrow. So let's start us off as you're a UConn Husky fan here. Give me your thoughts on how you felt when that call was made, and was that a good call, bad call? Like, be transparent here. What was your thoughts on that when that call was made and your Huskies no longer control their own fate and loss?
Man, I agree with you what you said earlier. Gino could have called up a better play. I felt like he should have put the ball in Paige's hand from the start and just let her run the clock down and go one-on-one and pull up. I think that's what should have happened. Because believe it or not, we have been called for 3 fouls on screens anyway during the game. So either she was at that particular moment, I don't think she was moving. I think she had a perfect good screen, but we have been already called for like two other times throughout the game. So I felt like, okay, if she went off the screen, good, bam, we in the building, Paige get the ball, she put up and make a big shot. But like you said, when the call was made, I'm looking like, dude, come on, bro. How are you gonna make this call at this moment in the game? Which I didn't think it was a foul. I just think old girl just ran right into her, and it's a no call. But I mean, it is what it is. We had our chances. Edwards really didn't play well. If she'd have came to play, I think we'd have won the game outright. If she'd have came to play, she missed a lot of chippy layups, throughout the game. She shot a lot of bad jump shots. To me personally, she just went herself. And at the end of the day, I mean, the call is the call. You can't change it. We just lost the game. I mean, I thought it was a bad call, but at the end of the day, it's other little things that I think we could have done, that could have won the game, and we just didn't do it. The young lady come off the bench that plays behind Elwood. She's taking bad jump shots early in the game. In the third quarter, she made some in the fourth quarter, but those are kind of, shots that, give other teams momentum when you missing and they go back down the court and make them, So it is what it is. Get ready for next year. Hopefully, the young ladies that we had 6 players out last night. Hopefully, they get back on track and see what we can do next year.
Keon, you're up there. You're looking around. You know you're next. So,
yeah, that was a horrible call. I can see in that situation if it was an advantage. The girl she didn't get knocked down. She still was coming off the screen to still contested. They actually had another girl up. I can see if you calling it like that the whole entire game, but at that point, that one play don't win or lose a game, but that damn play did dictate the ending of that game. We didn't even get a chance to even get a shot up, to even see what it's gonna go in or not. But I just really think that was a horrible call. It should have just been a no call. Play on. Like I said, UConn got no advantage off that screen. Ain't like she hit her and she is on her butt. You know what I'm saying? So, and the girl, she sold it a little bit, snapping her head back a little dramatic with it. The ref took the bait. But in that thing, man, it definitely was a great game going to have the game end like that when you got all eyes on college women's sports right now. It's like a sore spot was put on last night. Now, then people talking about a good game, everybody talking about, the call. Then the great basketball that was played last night. So at some time, man, these refs make the thing about them. We ain't come to see you, bro. We actually came to see the women's dictate the outcome on who gonna win or lose. So it got kind of questionable at the end of the last 5 minutes where I was getting a lot of calls. I think they probably had 16, 17 fouls. UConn probably only had like 4 calls all game. So it's just the disparity of the free throw line anyway. That to me. So yeah, definitely horrible call.
Yeah, I agree with everybody. That's a bad call. Like you said, they just wasn't consistent the whole game. And I think, like you said, when the girl for Iowa kind of flung her head back and kind of sold the call, it was kind of had her arms up a little bit high. And it's a size thing, right? It ain't like she was picking a big girl. She was a nice little small guard. So she sold it. And it's just sad that that play overshadows a good game. Both of the teams fought hard, came down to the wire. UConn had another shot when Caitlyn missed the free throw, didn't box out. But yeah, it's just the call just overshadows the epic game that it was last night.
Yeah, I looked at the call a couple of times. I looked at the play. It was an illegal screen. I did look at it a few times, man. After I first seen it, I'm sitting in the at the MGM. I'm sitting at the sportsbook area watching it, and you're like you're live. You're kind of like, whoa. It wasn't an illegal screen, but I just think like everybody else I don't think that was the time to make that type of call, unless you've been consistently making that call throughout the game. If you haven't making that call throughout the game, then probably Iowa should have been called for that too, because it was a few plays where I saw they were moving too. Like when they run Caitlyn off that slip screen a lot, or when she's doing the pick and roll, this screener moves the entire time. So it's like, it's if you're gonna call it, you got to call it consistently throughout the game so that people at least know how to manage the situation. And I think that's what everybody's issue is. That's what my issue is that I just feel like it feels like that call wasn't what we saw throughout the entire game or even the Final Four. It seemed like they were letting them play a little bit, and then they came back now and they're like, hey, we're gonna take that away and keep that play from developing. And like Keith said, I agree with Keith 100% on this. I mean, Paige Beckers did not have an advantage. She literally, I think she was gonna get trapped because the girl was following her. Number 24 was right on her hip, and 45 had already stepped up. So unless she was gonna dump it off on the roll, she wouldn't get trapped on that play because she really didn't have nowhere to go. So that's why I said I thought Gino. Here's where I did have a problem with. I thought Gino had them call timeout, and I think he should have. I think he should. Once they had that steal, they had all the momentum. Like that timeout to me did not help. Like it was just like you had all the momentum and you had the ball in your best player's hands. Like at that point, I'm not calling nothing. I'm looking at Paige and go.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like that's why I feel like that's where the game was lost in his decision to call timeout. Like, I get it. That's just too much control. You got the balls in your best player's hands. At this point, I was scrambling. It's 9 seconds left.
Yeah.
You tell her, you go for it. Like, I mean, like you go down there, you hold that ball, and you go tack it 5 seconds left. If not, or 6, so you at least, if you got a foul, you don't get the shot, you don't score, you get the foul, but you have to foul. But man, that's the part I saw for me, was that, like, just not having enough wherewithal to understand, like, she shouldn't have went that early. Like, oh, she called timeout. Like, you just controlling the game too much. Man, just let her go down there and take that shot and see what happens, because that's your best player. Like, you've been riding her the entire tournament.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So she may not have the best game this game, but that's when you got to say, hey, man, we going with our girl. She's who got us here. I ain't taking the ball out of her hands. I think that just slowed the pace down. It slowed them down. I think he if he really thought about it twice, he would never call timeout. He would have went for it. He'd have went in and said, man, just go. He looked dead at her and said, go for it.
And you know what's crazy? And you 100% correct, because I do think after like watching like the runs that we've had and all the players who have came through there, if it was Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, Swin, all these other girls that we've had, Tina Charles, all the big time scorers we've had to come through there, he would have let them go with it. He wouldn't have said nothing. And so that's why I do agree with you in saying we already got the momentum. Live and die with Paige. Live and die with Paige. Like, at the end of the day, I would have felt better if Paige would have came down, and even if she would, let's say she doesn't make the shot, but guess what? You gave your best player a chance to win the game. If she missed it, so what? It is what it is. But like you said, I think you're right, James. He took the ball out of her hands and took away the momentum, and he made them think about the play as to running the play. And I think that what killed it.
And you know, like, I mean, listen, Gino's a Hall of Famer. He knows more basketball than I even thought of.
Yeah.
But I just feel like that was the point where he put too much control. He put too much aspect on the game and not on just allowing the game come to him. I mean, they had nothing to lose. They're the 3rd seed. I mean, they've had all these injuries all season. Like, that's the point where I just been like, you throw it all away and just be like, let her go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it works, it works. Because I don't think Owls had a plan for what they're going to do. It was I think they knew in their mind after they came out that halftime, they were going to trap her. Like, they're like, when she gets the ball, we're going to trap her, get the ball out of her hands. But I think coming back, like, if they just would have ran it and would have been more of a 1-4, I don't think they had any idea what they're going to do. I mean, I think at that point they were confused, because, I mean, the pass that I think I forgot number 40. I think I forgot her name is number 45 for Iowa. The pass was so egregious and bad. Like, she threw the ball, like, I mean, she literally threw it to the other player. So I'm just thinking, in my mind, I know they're thinking like they weren't expecting that. They were expecting they're gonna have enough time to run some clock, and then if she kicked it out, she kicked it right to the UConn girl. She throws the ball in bounds. They got it. They got the steal, and they're looking like what we gonna do? And I would have been like, nope, I'm not calling nothing. I'm going for it. And if you get in trouble, you can still call timeout.
Yep.
You can save for the last shot. But at that point, man, you should tell her go for it. You could have went right, because at that point you have everything's open. You're only down 1. You can go to the basket. They're not trying to foul you, right? You can pull up 3 if you want to. You can do it if you want at that point. I think he tried to control that game too much at the end, and it bit us. It bit him. It bit him, man. It really did. It bit him, especially coming out of halftime, because that's the one thing I said, and I think I sent the text. I think the game was too close. I was like, man, it's too close. I said, Caitlyn gonna get it going eventually, and they're gonna have to do something after that, because only up 6 when I was playing that bad, they should have been up by like 10, 15.
Yeah.
And that's my point. And that's my point in saying Edwards had a horrible. She missed a lot of chip shots under the basket. And then they started taking like bad jump shots. I'm like, dude, we was going to the basket and y'all taking bad jump shots. I'm like, come on, man. You keep going to the basket. And that's another reason we didn't force the center from our to be in bad situations, due to the fact they kept, Edwards stayed on the perimeter. The other young lady who came off the bench, she stayed on the perimeter. So we didn't put pressure on her to have to foul, because the other young lady, number 45, she wasn't that good. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't giving them nothing. But 23 was killing us on the offensive side of the end. But we didn't put pressure on her to force her to play a lot more defense than what we did because Edwards and the other young lady was on the perimeter too much. It is what it is at this point.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, man. So let's get to the next topic then. Let's talk about Angel Reese and what's going on with the Angel Reese situation and her comments after the game, after the loss to Iowa. Let's get your thoughts on it. What were your thoughts on what was going on? We'll start with you, Keon. What were your thoughts on what's going on as far as the impact? I think it's probably, I would say more of the impact that it had in social media and the negative response that it may gotten out and about in social media as well. Go ahead and start that off, Key. Since this is your squad.
The comment she made to me, I ain't really put too much into it. I know social media ran with it. A lot of people had good things to say about it. A lot of people had bad things to say. That's been going on all year whenever she make a comment about something. I think, she knew it was her last game. It came up short. I think she got emotional when Flage was, speaking on her, and like she said, she a human. She just express how, things she went through the season after winning the championship, being attacked every day on social media, sexual, whatever. And like she said, she wouldn't change it though, because all the good stuff that came with it. So she was just speaking from both sides. That's all. Reporter asked her something, and she responded to the question. Like Angel is gonna speak her mind. She gonna say how she felt, and she just did that. And whatever she say, what I'm saying, the impact she had on women game, you're gonna have people gonna talk negative about her, and you're gonna have people talk positive about her. And that's what I took from it. No big deal. Other than she just speaking, she was responding to what the reporter asked her, and she was just going down, how what she went through this year, the team went through this year. She talk about a lot, but it's just clickbaits. People don't put the whole conversation out. People do stuff for ratings. You know what I'm saying? So if you just look at the clip they put, not the question was asked and everything before she got to that. So we in a media-driven world right now, bro. And they gonna go after who gonna sell topics. So ain't nothing of it.
Yeah, I thought it was good for her to express her emotions. And it was a hard-fought game, very emotional. She's an emotional player, talk trash. And I love it, man. You don't see often, these type of players at this elite level express themselves like that. It left her, to be attacked or to be loved, right? It just depends on how you looked at the comments. And she probably knew it's her last game. She won't be in college no more. She knew now it's a business now going to the WNBA. And, I don't have a problem with her comments, man. I just love that, she was being genuine and, she left herself vulnerable, bro. And a lot of people can't take that, because they know what's coming with that. Some people could dive into it like they did from an attacking standpoint. Some people loved it. But yeah, shout out to Angel Reese, man. She had a great, amazing college career. And, now the eyes definitely going to be on her because she's going in to the WNBA 2024 class with a lot of other elite players. So people are going to be watching. She definitely moved the college needle the last 2 years. And, shout out to Angel Reese, man.
Man, shout out to Angel Reese. This is the problem with people. People get mad. When people be honest about who they are and what they are and they stand on everything that they say and do, people get upset. Guess what? Deal with it. That young lady should not change for nobody. Speak your mind. That's the problem with the world today. People don't speak their mind. They want athletes to be a certain way. Oh, well, don't do this, don't do that. Well, we need you to speak more. We need you to do this more. We need to be who you are. That is the problem. When people if she would have came up there and not been herself, then they say, well, she's not genuine. It's always something. So at the end of the day, athletes today, men and women, say what you got to say and be done with it. Because guess what? People are going to like you and people are going to hate you. No matter what you do, whatever you say, people are going to like you or hate you. So at the end of the day, just be yourself. I don't have no problem with the comment. If you don't like it, so be it. Because guess what? You your own person. You march to your own drum, and that's how you keep it. So Angel Reese, salute to you. Keep doing what you're doing. You did what you had to do. as the LSU Tiger, keep it moving.
Y'all really done with this, man? Like, I feel like I understand some of the aspects of things that she stated, right? I think, the death threats getting death threats is horrible, especially from when you're a college student, you're just playing basketball. You're playing basketball how you know how. I mean, in the area you grew up in, this is a very commonplace. With the trash talking, just being, very more boisterous. And that's the style that you've been playing all your career. That's what made you great. So I have no problem with that type of aspect of who you are. And that always, to me, makes sense because, a lot of us are taught that way. And that's cool as a fan. The only thing I know she talks about a lot of the difficulties of the season. Some of the difficult seasons were things that she put on herself. Like some of the things, like I didn't know, we knew that Angel was suspended. We didn't know why. It was Flo J mama that told everybody about her GPA. We didn't know about that. The world didn't know about that. A lot of things that she was doing, the things that she was involved in, a lot of predicaments that was happening were things that were happening because it was some things that it was self-inflicted wounds from her. Now, if she would have talked about that a little bit more, then I can understand. I would have understood where she was coming from, and even just even the emotional aspect of it. And the emotion, you don't always align. You're not gonna get your point across when you're at the most emotional state. It's just how life is. Some people, if you can, express yourself the way you want to, when you're fully emotional, it will definitely come off in a different, more light. People have more clarity. But I listened to the interview. And the question, because it was a question, and she spelled out her answer. And I didn't have any issue with outside of the fact that I think some of those things that she talked about were self-inflicted things, which the only problem I have with her sometimes when she speaks on things is she doesn't really talk about that aspect of herself. Like she doesn't talk about what she's in, what caused that, maybe something she's done. I don't know if she never talks from that perspective. She kind of always talks to herself about two different ways. She will talk about from a aspect of how it affect her, but she never really talks about like how she was the cause of why it affects her. And that's the one thing. Maybe when she gets older and she gets a little older, she's gonna start understanding and she involve herself in things like why things can happen because of certain frame of mind, a certain energy she puts out there, right? Perspective she puts out there. That's going to take time. That comes with wisdom, right? And I think that's what I want to see from her as she continues to keep growing and getting older. But that's the only thing I have. It was like I listened to a lot of the people, like a lot of the social media, but a lot of the sports commentators and stuff that had something to say about it. Everybody had different opinions. People told that she could have stand on it. That the crying at that point was, probably not as justifiable. And I can see one end, I can see the other. I can see when there were times where she was a bully on the court, bro. Like she wasn't, and a lot of things she did on the court was not playing basketball. So I can understand where some people made some statements, but she's young. She's gonna get older. Hopefully, she just continues to mature and develop into the woman she wants to be.
Yeah, sure.
Right. And that is about as clear point I can give it. I can hope that she continues doing that because it's a journey. We all are still trying to learn and grow as people. So it is a journey, and I know she's going to keep pushing forward. And yeah, man, but we got to give our thoughts on that as well. Let's talk about Caitlyn Clark's legacy, right? If she wins this championship tomorrow, can you start me out? If she should be considered a GOAT. Maybe not the GOAT, but she should be considered a GOAT if she wins that chip tomorrow, concluding that all her statistical triumphs.
Yeah, that put her in the conversation with some of the greatest players that have played the game. If she sealed the deal, you know what I'm saying? She got the accolades with the points, but at the end of the day, to get in that room and be mentioned with the great, you got to deliver. Because like the ones like who we're comparing her to, they all got rings. And so definitely a stamp of legendary. She already had a great college career, but the stamp to win the chip tomorrow, it'll be a legendary career. It'll be the run she had to win this chip, the thing she had to go through. So also just putting us, Iowa on the map. Nobody even heard of Iowa basketball women team, to come and put that program on the map, to have them in back-to-back Final Fours, going back to back-to-back championship. So yeah, she can close the deal. Definitely put her in the conversation with with the Maya Moores and all the rest of the people. Not saying she better than them, but I'm just saying I'm not saying she better than them, but it puts you in that room. It puts you in that room with great players. I'm looking at this, great players that had an impact on the game and won a championship. She will be mentioned in those conversations. The impact she had on college, on women basketball the last 2 years. You got to give it to her. You know what I'm saying? She been box office as a college player. So to get a chip tomorrow, that means you'll have to come back. You got your revenge on LSU. You beat UConn. You beat you'll have to beat South Carolina, who ain't lost a game all year. Nobody have beaten South Carolina. And you be the one that cracked that code. Hey, that's a legendary senior career. Let me say stamp on going out your career. Like I said, those 3 teams, and nobody have gave South Carolina a L all year. And for you to do it 2 years in a row and find a way to do it, you gave them their first L last year, right? Last year they was undefeated, South Carolina. Yeah, they was and to come back this year and get them another L in the championship. Only L. That's what I'm saying. So back to back, oh yeah, you'll have to give it to her.
Want me to go?
Mine gonna be real quick.
I don't care, man. Y'all go ahead, man.
Nah, bro.
I go get my charge.
She's made an amazing 2-year run. And even if she gets a title, I don't think she's nowhere in the GOAT conversation, because we've had legendary players that had a 4-year career, multiple championships. It just
I say you put it in that room. I ain't say you mentioned
she might not even get to touch the knob. She has had a run, and I think because you talk about the Maya Moores, the Shamika Holdsclaw, them UConn had a number of Stewart. There have been a lot of legendary players that have got multiple chips, and I just think being in Iowa, a white female, she's put the Iowa on the map. Social media drives a lot, and she's definitely benefiting from it. And nothing to take away from her scoring greatness. She will go down as one of the all-time greatest scorers, men and women. Like she's box office. But for me, even with the GOAT status, I think she would have had to at least win 2. Like the first 2 years, nobody even heard of Caitlyn Clark. It's just she went scoring crazy the last 2 years. But the GOAT, man, in the conversation, I'm on the fence on that one.
And the reason, but to make my point, like you're talking about all these Maya Moores and all this. Look at the talent they was playing with to win multiple championships. Look at her team. Look at no, we ain't about to do that. Tennessee was running shit.
I get it.
UConn, she went to Iowa, my nigga, where they nobody even thinking about basketball. So that would make her one ring she got that equal like 2.
Hold on, bro.
You would have to equal that to like 2 rings.
Hold on.
Maya boy, name her teammates.
I'm about to tell you right now.
Hold on,
Key.
Hold on, teammates.
Hold on, Key.
All the rest of who y'all see.
I don't know about Candace. You probably can't name too on the Candace.
No, that Tennessee team.
Not Candace Parker.
Not Candace Parker team.
Well, I'm talking about those UConn teams.
Hold on.
They was loaded.
Key, hold on. No, they were. Hold on, Key. You're wrong. No, this is where you're wrong at. The Diana Taurasi's team, when they won her freshman year, she had a whole bunch of freshmen her sophomore year, and she won 2 back-to-back. She was in the same situation.
She had more talent than Caitlyn
not, bro. No, she did not.
Iowa, bro.
I know the team. That Diana Taurasi team. Hold on. Diana Taurasi's team when she was a sophomore had a whole bunch of
I
freshmen.
bet she had
and she
like
won
2-3
straight.
people went to the lead.
I
all
don't
that
care
time.
about that, Key.
It is
Key.
about that.
She
was
had a
playing-
whole bunch of
WNBA talent.
Hold on.
Ain't none
She
of them
had a
girls
whole.
going to the league.
It ain't too many chicks on that
None
team
of them
with
girls
Diana.
going to the league.
Bro,
None of them girls on
that ain't
ours
my
going
problem.
to the WNBA.
That's not my problem.
No,
Listen,
because my
Caitlyn
problem
Clark-
is my
Caitlyn
point.
Clark,
Those girls was
Caitlyn
playing
Clark
with better
is not
talent.
in that
They still have more
conversation.
rings.
Hold on. Caitlyn Clark is not in that conversation with them girls, bro. She's not even on the doorknob. Second of all, like Ray said, if Paige don't get hurt, we're not even talking about Caitlyn Clark.
We don't know that.
They were there at the same time. Hold on, Key.
That plays a part in sports.
Key.
That
They
plays
was
a
there
part in,
at the
injuries
same
plays a
time.
part in sports.
Key.
That's part of the
Okay.
sport.
So this thing, Paige was freshman All-American.
Okay, but that's part of
Caitlyn
sports,
wasn't that.
bro.
Hold on. Caitlyn wasn't that. And on top of that, if Caitlyn don't beat South Carolina next year, we not sitting up here talking about Caitlyn. You know who Caitlyn is? And I told Ray this earlier. She's a Jimmer Fredette. That's what she is. When Jimmer Fredette was in college, he was shooting from the logo, making all them threes, and everybody got happy by what BYU or whatever school he was going to. Everybody, man, when he gets to the league, he's going to do this.
We ain't talking about the league, Donald. We talking
I'm
about
just
college.
saying. I'm just talking about in college.
We're not
Don't
talking
get me
about
wrong.
the WNBA.
Don't get me wrong. Caitlyn is a great shooter. She's going to go down as one of the greatest shooters, men and women. But she's not in that class with them girls, bro. She's not. You saw last night, the girl held her on rocks for 6 points in the first half.
Yeah, but she ended up with she
ended up with 21 points, taking 20 shots. Hold on. She took 20 shots to get 21 points.
Hey, she won, bro.
Bro, she took 20 shots to get 21 points.
But that's my thing is she still was impacting the game, even though she had a
if Gino coaches better and we don't even with hold on.
Okay, so if we ain't gonna talk about if
I'm about to give you the fact. If Kim Mulkey, if Kim Mulkey was a better coach,
okay, we ain't talking about Caitlyn Clark.
I'm about to give you the fact. If Kim Mulkey was a better coach, like you try to talk trash about Dawn, if Kim Mulkey was a better coach, she would have played it the same way Gino played it last night, and you probably would have won.
Okay, probably would, but we're talking about probably.
She's not in that conversation as a coach. I don't care if she win tomorrow. I don't care if she win tomorrow. She's not in the class of Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, Maya Moore, Tamika Holdsclaw, Candace Parker, girl who went and played at Texas Tech.
Look at the team.
Not in that class.
Look at the talent they had around them. They should have
a lot. Texas Tech didn't have a lot of talent. And girl won the championship. Cheryl Swoops didn't win the championship. She didn't have a lot of talent. She didn't have a lot of talent. And she won the championship.
Was better than Iowa. I bet they
you said talent. Cheryl Swoops did not have a lot of talent, and then she won. She took that team and won.
Playing with 5 white girls, bro.
Okay, guess what? They got scholarships, right?
A mixed breed.
Hold on, Key.
Mixed breed.
Key. Do they got scholarships?
If Iowa had if they had another athletic girl on that team, and I'm an LSU fan. If they had a couple athletic sister on that team, boy,
Key, are they on scholarship, Key? Are they on scholarship?
Huh?
Are they on scholarship?
Yeah, bro. That's my point.
They ain't had, I don't want to hear no more.
She ain't had the team
like what you say. Hold on, what you say all the time. The coach need to. The coach need to go. The coach need to go. Hold on. The coach needs to go and recruit more players. Then I don't want to hit. That's an excuse.
Okay, bro.
That's my point.
That's your opinion.
My opinion is she ain't in the conversation with them.
Okay.
Girls, period.
All right.
You heard him man say period.
I don't know, man. I mean, if she wins tomorrow, this is probably going to be you got to look at this run. And if she wins tomorrow, it's one of the greatest runs you're ever going to see.
It is.
It is. If she beats a 37-0 team who annihilated NC State in the second half in that third quarter. You have to give it to her. You have to give it to her. She has to be considered a GOAT. I don't think you say that she's the GOAT because
I'm not saying that. You put her in that room.
Not the GOAT. Yeah. But you also got to look at. I mean, the truth is, man, a lot of the players you name had superstar talent, had top tier talent with them.
Yeah,
like high school top, like they literally the runs that UConn and Tennessee had was because of the talent they had. They really pretty much monopolized all the talent on their roster, and they played together and they won championships off of it.
Coach need to get some more people then. She need to recruit better.
Well, okay, we ain't talking about that. We just talking about
she ain't in the GOAT conversation. She ain't in the GOAT conversation.
You
But I
move with
mean, listen, you can't say she. I mean, even if you think about this, like for instance, like last night, I think UConn still, even though they had injuries, UConn still probably had like what 3 All-Americans still out there playing.
Yeah, one of the girls going first round.
Like, you know,
Which one?
The one you said had a bad game. She going
Who,
first
Ellis?
round.
Man,
Yeah.
Ellis not going first round, bro.
What's that
But
girl
wasn't
going
she?
first round?
All I'm
man?
saying is, wasn't she All-American though?
Yeah, she first team all
She first team All-American.
And
She
was
ain't
she
going-
All-American come out of high
Oh,
school?
so she might be first team. She might be first team. Big East All American.
No,
She
but
But she
listen,
not.
Page.
But wasn't she an All-American come
Paige
out of high
ain't
school?
leaving.
But
I'm
listen, what I'm
saying, but
saying.
she's
Wasn't
first
she
team
I'm talking about
All-American?
this year. She was first team
Listen,
All-American.
what I'm saying. Wasn't she an All-American come out of high school?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, listen, Caitlyn don't have an All-American on her team.
None.
That ain't my
Zero.
problem.
But she beat you.
That ain't my
without
problem.
one.
Tell her,
That's
hey,
what
tell
you
her,
making
tell her,
an
come to the
argument.
give you
Without
a
one,
Me
man.
and James'
though.
argument. That's why it would be
she
special.
beat you without an
Man,
All-American.
she not in that conversation, bro. That's just my opinion.
No, literally, what you're seeing with her is the same thing we have with Searle Swoops. Searle Swoops only won 1 championship, but you look at Searle Swoops, she's a 3-time All-American, the same thing as Caitlyn. She averaged 20-some points, almost 30-some points a game. I mean, her credentials is about as similar as Searle Swoops, and we talk about Searle as a great, as a GOAT. So how can she not be a GOAT? If you look at line by line, you look at their stats. Now, of course, Searle played in a different era, so the 3-point shot wasn't as utilized, and Cheryl probably had, but Cheryl literally, her team didn't have any All-Americans either. Caitlyn did not have All-Americans either. Like their stats are similar. The difference is the championship. So that's it. She was a championship, and then we look at Cheryl like what she was. Now she had WNBA success. That's always going to be a part of the conversation later. But right now, coming out of college, you can't say she can't be considered. Like she's put up in this career for herself at this university, man. She's put up astronomical numbers. She's taken her team to the Final Four, to the final game 2 years in a row with no All-Americans. With no All-Americans, you can't take away from it. I get it, man, but you can't, bro.
That's my point, JD. This girl got she got no WNBA talent on this team. None of them girls. After they done playing with Iowa, they done. They're gonna be coaches. They're gonna be coaches. And you go up and beat this South Carolina team that's deep and probably got 5 other starters on the bench and go start on Iowa right now. You take 5 of them bench players from South Carolina and they'll be starters on Iowa. And she go beat them tomorrow? Stop it, bro. And that ain't even okay. Stop
you
it.
better go recruit better.
Stop it. He be hating on Caitlyn.
I ain't hating on no one. I get props when they do. But if she go beat South Carolina tomorrow, you can take 5 off the bench right now. For what's her name? For Wiley, she'll go start tomorrow in Iowa.
You're absolutely right, bro. Like
first L.
They got 4 players that will start on Iowa right now. Like literally, they bench come off and go play there. Like, bro, I can't even let you rock with that. If she beats them, bro, she should be.
Well, I don't think they're gonna lose tomorrow.
Well, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk a little bit about Dawn Staley and her legacy. Because she's won 2 championships. She's been to the Final Four 4 years in a row. Right now, I think she has a record of 108-3 in the last 3 years. And she's been having a hell of a run right now. We're probably seeing that next great run that we've seen throughout colleges, women's basketball. So let's start off. Donathan, let's talk about Dawn. If she wins this championship this year with an undefeated team, 5 brand new starters, like nobody on that team started last year. What would this do for her legacy? Would this cement her as that route, Mount Rushmore of GOAT coaches?
I think it will put her in that. I think it would put her in that conversation strongly because, like you said, she done won 100 and some games, only 3 losses. She done had multiple changing pieces, and I think she really do need this game. Like she really do. I mean, despite what she's already done, taking a program like South Carolina and turning it around and bringing top talent, to come there and recruit there, and to do what she's done there as a whole. It would cement a lot for them as a basketball school and for herself in general. And I think she would be a part of that conversation with Pat Summitt, the lady out in Stanford, Gino, that having 3 championships, Kim Mulkey, she's right there with them. Like Kim Mulkey has 4. So I mean, you're gonna in that situation, you at least got to get 4. You at least got to get 4. 3 will put you in the conversation strongly, but you at least got to get 4 because Mulkey has 4. Everybody else, is on the bandwagon outside of Summit, Gino, and I think the lady out in Stanford. So, she would be in the conversation. Kim Mulkey is where the bar is right now. It's 4 championships. And I think this would propel her in that direction. But she really do need this game tomorrow from a coaching standpoint due to the fact that they lost last year, and you can't lose to the same person back to back. Like that's a dark cloud hanging over you as a coach. So I think she really do need the game tomorrow. But I do think if she can get this W tomorrow and their team come out and play like they're supposed to, it really would elevate her into that conversation.
Yeah, I would put her, if she gets this chip tomorrow, top 4. That puts her on the Rushmore. Even though that'll give her, that give her the same amount of chips as Tyra Vanderver. But Tyra been there at Stanford about 50 years almost, seems like, and the amount of span and what she's done at South Carolina is amazing. It's kind of how when Gino got to UConn on the map and just took it to the next level. Same way with Pat Summitt in Tennessee. And even with Kim Mulkey, how she put Baylor on the map. So it would put her on around Mount Rushmore if she wins that. I would put her over Tyra Vanderver, even though they got the same amount of chips, just because of the number of years Tyra's been at Stanford and the short amount of time Dawn has turned that Gamecocks women's program around.
Yeah, this is like the Caitlyn thing. I mean, this definitely put her in the room with those coaches if she win this one. They get her 3 rings, undefeated season. Like JD said, basically, coming back, the recruiting thing she'd have done. I saw something where she only lost like 3 games in the last 3 years, some crazy stuff. And she just got to finish it off with a chip. She finished it off with a chip. Definitely put her in that in the room with those other coaches. Because, like I said, I just look at how the impact she done had on that program. When you go somewhere and you turn a program around and you're winning, and to be consistent every year, like you're in a conversation. Her teams are in a conversation every year where they got a chance to win a championship. So if she wins undefeated season, I saw her talking, it will make up for them the last year that what's the old girl in them when they went undefeated?
Bird.
Huh?
I think Aaliyah.
Yeah, she's even saying if they win, they're gonna give that team a ring. But if I'm Aaliyah, I don't want it. I'm like, nah, thank you for the test, but we ain't earned that. So, but yeah, if they win, she definitely in that. They put her in the room with like Ray said, with the Kim Mulkeys and the Genos, and because now what I'm saying, that'll be 3 rings.
Yeah, I agree with everybody. I think that just it cements her. In this modern day, and part of sports in general, and the NIL is very more difficult to be a success story and be able to recruit these kids. So it's going to be different as she keep moving forward. And then more eyes on women's basketball. It's going to become more difficult because a lot of these ladies now, they generate, they have their own. I won't say generate their own interest. They have their own not support, but they have their own. They can generate their own audience. They have their own names. It's not about just the coach. It used to be about the coach, right? Now it can be about the players, right? And now the players now these college players, they have more power now, right? Like, it's always about the coaching matchups. Now it's about Caitlyn versus Angel or Caitlyn versus South Carolina. The way they market now is different. NILs have changed things. So if she can get this chip and continue to keep winning, for sure, she's definitely in the room, and she's definitely considering herself as one of those top goats. So let's talk about the game.
And let me add and another thing too is, now we kind of touched on it. All the talent just ain't going to UConn or going to Tennessee. You got names all over. The talent is spread out, so it make it more difficult to get to. I ain't got to go through one team. You got to go through a couple of teams now because the talent is spread out. There ain't no more UConn got 10 10 players.
Down All American.
Yeah, and they just running through everybody, beating them 120. them days gone. Because now with NIL, kids can go anywhere, and so that would make it even harder now to win a championship.
And then too, like it's the pressure from some of these coaches to these superstar freshmen. Do you play them day one?
Some of them are ready.
Like Fulton Wiley, like she's a prime example. The #1 player coming out of South Carolina. I'm sure she could have went anywhere and got the ball and scored 25 a game.
She'll be right now getting 25.
Like, and Dawn got her coming off the bench, and they got sometimes where she barely plays 15 minutes. So it's definitely a challenge with these coaches nowadays with these stars coming out. And like I say, they can go anywhere now.
And you can transfer. They don't like how you coach them. I'm just going to get in the portal.
Yeah, that's another aspect of it.
Yeah, so it's just it's changed. The game has changed. So being able to to be able to develop the talent that she has, develop the players that she has, and being able to produce the talent she continues to do is she's definitely a one of a kind. And she's always fly on the sideline, man. Where she wearing the latest.
They had the Louis last night.
She had the Louis on.
Gucci get her. They didn't cut the check.
Right.
If I'm done, I ain't wearing no more Gucci till y'all cut the check.
Oh, she probably getting the check. She probably getting the check from.
She wear nothing but Gucci and Louis all day, so she's definitely always staying fresh to death. She stayed clean, and she put on for the. I know the black community love her. She put on for that as well, and only thing though, man, she got Kenny Smith knees. You ever seen that?
She old, boy.
Yeah, she got
I
the
heard
bad.
Dawn was a baller though.
She was at Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, she was a baller. Oh yeah, she was old.
Yeah, I heard she was a baller.
She did the national championship game.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't see her. I was too young, but I heard she was a baller.
Yeah, she was nice.
What I mean you were too young? You were
Yes.
You wasn't. You weren't no too young, man.
Well, we wasn't watching.
We wasn't watching women like
we
that.
wasn't watching women.
But say you too young.
What year she was in college?
Like the 90s.
90s?
Yeah, the 90s.
Cheryl Swoops. So they was in the Olympics in 96. Right. So,
I wasn't too young.
Early 90s.
Yeah, we just wasn't watching college basketball.
She lost to Tennessee.
Yeah, we wasn't watching, but she got a ring though, right?
Nah, she lost in college.
She lost in college.
Okay, but I heard she ain't had a lot of talent either though on the teams. Like
she was like 2-3-time player of the year.
Yeah.
Their team was all right though. The team that she was on, they weren't bad. It's just that she was a dog and everybody didn't.
Well, that's how far women's games and came. Big ups to women basketball.
All right, so let's talk about the matchup tomorrow on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I think the game starts at 6, maybe
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Okay, cool. Thank you for clearing that up for me. All right, man. So, give me your thoughts real quick, Dontham. Give me your thoughts on this matchup between Iowa and South Carolina.
Press Caitlyn Clark like Gino did last night. Take advantage. Like Watkins and all them girls take advantage of rebounding the ball, getting second chance shots, and running them girls off the 3-point line. I think they win the game. I think Cardoza is big. I think she has to be big like she was yesterday, and see if she can get the young lady out from foul trouble. And if that's the case, I think they can take it away. But the key thing is South Carolina cannot fall asleep, get a big lead, and fall asleep at the wheel and let these girls get back in the game. So if they up by 20, push it to 30. If they're up by 30, push it to 40. So what? Play me next year. On the women's side for Iowa, they got to get all around scoring from everybody. Because I just don't think not this time, Caitlyn's gonna be enough. They got to get 2 or 3 more people who at least get double digits, maybe even 4 to win this game. Because after losing last year, I'm pretty sure Dawn told these girls, look here, not 2 in a row. And if we get up by 20, we're gonna push it to 30. They got to play us next year. We're gonna really put the pressure on them. So South Carolina just got to stay focused. They get a lead, do what they got to do, and not fall asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, it'd be too much on the inside presence for South Carolina. They just need to press Caitlyn Clark, throw multiple bodies at her. If you come out the pick and roll, you change it up sometimes. Sometimes you trap her. Sometimes, you just switch the big and the big get back. But I just think it'd be too much. The inside presence of South Carolina gonna be too much for them. They're gonna get them in foul trouble.
I just got to see how this game gonna be rough. They're gonna let them play. It's gonna be tap falls because foul trouble can play a big part in it. Is how they gonna rough the game. I'm gonna see that the first 4 or 5 minutes of this game, you're gonna see how the ref calling, and the players gonna have to adapt to how they call in the game. So my keys from South Carolina, they're gonna have to establish Cardoza. She's gonna have to go to work. You know what I mean? And South Carolina gonna have they're gonna have to can't go in those scoring droughts sometimes they go in. They're gonna have to be able to because I'm quite sure they're gonna run a zone. And they're gonna probably force them if they can hit shots out that zone, attack the zone. They're gonna definitely have to out rebound them. And for
Watkins.
Alva to win, they got to make threes. Everybody got to make threes. They got to be able to make old girl come out the paint, make her guard. Because whoever they got on her be able to shoot the three. But I just think when it comes down to it, I think South Carolina depth should wear them down and win this game. So but if it can't be close, it can't be no 3-4 point game with 4 minutes left. And you don't want to be in that situation because the ref's gonna find a way, bro.
They gonna find a way.
They gonna find you can't go. They're gonna have to be up by this game gonna have to be over by 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. If it's not, that's when you put it in the ref's hands.
Want that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you want it in the refs for hands up if you're South Carolina. But I mean, I think it's gonna be I think this is probably gonna be Caitlyn's worst game, in my honest opinion. I think this South Carolina showed a lot, excuse me, South Carolina, but UConn showed a very good strategy.
No, we need to go back. Who guarded her the best to me was West Virginia.
They made it rough.
Yeah, they did all right, but they
was pressing her full court.
They pressed the full court, but that's the thing. South Carolina has the players to do that, and I think this is going to be the opportunity for really, if you're Dawn, to really exemplify that. Hey, listen, we got the talent, we got the players. You're gonna have to commit to it the entire game. Utilize Watkins, utilize Foley Riley, utilize some of that young talent, and allow them to go at her, and stay on her the entire game. And force the other four. The other four beat you, cool, right? But also, and I think all you guys have stated this, and this is so true. They go into these lapses scoring wise, where they're not hitting shots. It seems like it affects their defense, and their defense is not as strong, and they're just constantly, in a battle. And so this is the type of game they need to put it all together. Dawn's got to do a better job with her lineups. I scream about it all the time. I think sometimes her lineups are just, I don't understand them. I think when she goes with number 20, I think that's her name, and Watson, that's not your strength as far as inside. Watson definitely is not a post player, so I'm not sure where you can go with the ball once you take Cardoza out and rest her. So it's like now you got to really figure out what's your strength of these lineups. And I think sometimes when they rest Raven, and they put the ball in Powell's hands, it takes away from Powell being aggressive offensively. She can't shoot the rock. She can't come off screens. And that makes sometimes it makes them struggle too. She's going to have to put it together this game. Not have where she has these spurts like they had last night where they played really, really poor at some points, and then they played really, really good in the third quarter, and they blew them out. She needs to be clicking as a coach and press the right buttons and make sure that everybody's dialed in and put those girls to work and let them understand what's the strength going to be, how to beat this team, right? But I think she does that. She does what she's supposed to do. I don't see this being much of a game, to be honest with you.
Yep.
If she does if they're clicking, I don't see this being much of a game. I just don't. I don't think I just don't have enough. They don't. Literally every position, especially from a defensive standpoint, South Carolina is better at. Right, every position. It's just if only thing Iowa has a chance if South Carolina just not playing, they're just off. They're just either too confident or too lackadaisical. If they're not, this should not be a game. This should be a 15, 20 point cruise control because they're just that much better. Yeah. I just don't. That's how much it is. They're just. I look at every position. Offensively, Caitlyn has an advantage. But then once you pass her, defensively, she don't. Everybody, they can attack her.
Yeah, and you gotta make Caitlyn, she gonna play the whole game. So you gotta attack her on the defense. You gotta make her play defense too. Can't just let her rest.
and I have an
They
issue
gonna
with
be
these
in their
coaches,
zone.
and I have an issue with
That's
these
how they
coaches.
save her.
I have an issue with these coaches that they
don't
don't
play.
attack her. Whoever she's guarding, go to the basket. Force her to have to guard, because guess
They
what?
run that 1-3-1 zone.
But that's what I like about her coach. They put her in the zone. They don't put her
Yeah,
on.
but tomorrow she's not gonna be able to do that, because this is why.
They gonna do it.
They're gonna get killed on the
I'm gonna
board.
tell you why. I'm
Well,
gonna
Ray,
tell you what
they've been getting on.
Yeah.
They've been getting.
Hold
they got
on.
killed on the boards against LSU.
But this
I
why,
get it,
but this why I think
they
she's
got
gonna have
killed
to
on the
come out
boards
of.
last night about UConn.
Hold on.
They
This is
they
why.
gonna
Call
limit
miss
down.
shots though. You
They
gotta
This
let
is why
guys
you
do
got to
it.
make your shot.
Hey man, don't
South
get
Carolina
one
can't
person
go
at
on
a
scoring
time.
drive.
But this is
You
the
only
thing,
got
though.
one person speak at a time. You only got one person speak at a time.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead,
I'm
D.
saying they don't care about losing the board. They're gonna stay in the zone. What you gotta do, you gotta finish around the rim with them. That's the thing. LSU, I'll rebound them double digits, but they miss chipping around the rim. Same thing, UConn. You getting boards, but you ain't finishing them because they not going to play man defense. They just don't have the personnel to do it, to stay in front of, especially South Carolina guards are quick. So like Jay said, if South Carolina clicking, making shots, this game shouldn't be close. But if they're not, they can't make shots out that zone, they're gonna be in it. Because that's how they say Caitlyn. They not putting her on the island saying go guard. No, they playing a zone.
I think this, if they play a zone, I think they still get dusted. And this is why. If Cardoza found out that other girl, they in trouble. They are in major trouble.
She the piece for me. She the piece for me. She gotta dominate.
And South Carolina, when they rebound, they gotta push it down the floor. If they can get easy buckets off the rebound and cherry pick whatever you want to do, but if they can get the rebound and push the tempo on them, like James said, and not have these little scoring droughts, they're gonna be in trouble. And that's the key. And that's the key. And I think Dawn learned her lesson last year, to where they were packing the paint, and them girls, you drive to the basket, shoot the mid range.
Well, South Carolina
they got kids who can do that.
They got better shooters. Last year they ain't had shooters.
Yeah, Raven Johnson wide open.
Yeah,
she talked about.
They this year they got shooters that can make.
They ain't doing that this year.
Yeah, they got last year. They were like, I don't even care. Like she was waving girls off, like get out of here, shoot it.
You got Tessa, you got Raven, a shooter, you got Pow.
Yeah,
Bree Hall, whenever she decided to show up her ass, like, golly, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's the different. That's the big difference from this South Carolina team than last year. Nobody respect them to make jumpers. We were like, we're gonna live and die camp in the paint.
Ain't gonna do that this year.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. So if South Carolina hitting their threes, it's over. It ain't nothing, because you got to give up something. And they gonna camp the paint on Condoza. They gonna make her throw it out to those shooters. Because they gotta live with something. And
but I think,
and what Condoza and them gotta do too. Ours is tricky. They run. When they get rebounds, they checking out and going. A lot of those they kicking it out. So she gonna have to be on her P's and Q's too. I need to get back and start running down the floor.
Well, I put that on the guards, right? The guards can't be sleeping at the top of the key. Like they got to get back. Like there's no watching, lollygagging. You got to get back, because I want to speed the pace up and get going to get the easy baskets.
Yeah, because they gonna try to score quick. They don't want to go into a half set where shot blocking there.
Yeah, defense, they locking up.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have nothing to add, man. I think that they're gonna have to figure it out. So let's give our picks on this one. Who you got? Don, to start us off.
South Carolina.
Okay.
88-80.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going South Carolina.
South Carolina by 10.
Yeah, I think the same thing, man. South Carolina, they pull away around that mid-third quarter, maybe even second quarter, because I feel like they're just going to get a lead then, and then they can just now play inside out. So I got South Carolina going there. So let's talk a little bit about the men's game. We got 2 games coming up tonight. Bama versus UConn, Purdue versus North Carolina State. Let's start off Bama, UConn. Quick thoughts on the matchup. Don, to start us off.
I think this is going to be a great game. I think with the ability that Alabama have to shoot the three, we're going to have to be smart. UConn will have to be smart and running them off the 3-point line, playing good defense. I think it's going to be a classic game. I think this is the perfect game for us. you know, because we've really like put it on people all year in the back half of the season, including the tournament. But I just think coaching overall, Danny Hurley is going to get us over the hump, and we get the dub.
Okay. Keith?
Yeah, too much inside presence for UConn. I think that's just going to just be too much for Alabama. Alabama keep it close, but I think UConn pulls away within the last 7 minutes. So I got UConn winning.
Yeah, I got UConn winning, man. They got 24, 25-year-old kids out there. It's just grown kids.
No, we don't.
The program
What you talking about, man?
Is make a difference.
Man, what you talking about,
They
man?
make a difference, bro. Your average on your team, 24 years old. You playing against a little 18, 19-year-old.
That's always what it is.
You know what I mean? So I think Alabama gonna battle. I think it's gonna be a good game for a while, but I think down the stretch, you kind of make enough plays to win, bro. I'm paying, get them 25-year-old kids off you.
Man, you know I got the tie, and you know what I mean? We gonna stop the world today. I don't care nothing but the tie, baby. I don't care nothing but the tie. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna beat UConn. 9 o'clock, I think this the game is. I think 8 or 9.
Nah.
We're gonna beat UConn. We're gonna spread them out. Mark Sears, he's from the crib. You know
He need a big game. He
big game tonight.
He need a big. He probably tonight need about 30.
He need 30 with Nelson. Need 22.
Yeah,
we need Nelson and him about 50. They need to have 50, 60 points between the both of them. And then you get a mixture of 3 or 4 players, then give you about 20, 25. We need a high scoring game. We definitely need to keep it in the 80s. We definitely have it in the 80s. We cannot have it in a low scoring game. We're gonna lose. But listen, shock the world. Let's do it tonight, baby. Bama, let's go. All right. So next up, NC State, Purdue. Donathan, matchup. Give us your thoughts on the matchup and who you got.
Oh man, this I think this is gonna be the most intriguing game of the night. You got Burns, you got Edey. You know what I'm saying? Edey had a big game last weekend. He feels like, you know, people overlooked him. A lot of coaches overlooked him, and he feel like, you know, that he has that fire under him. Burns, you know, went to Winthrop, went to another school, got to North Carolina State. You know what I'm saying? And he has been the big fella, you know, the big fella who come in, good feet, can make baskets, can play inside, outside, great distributor of the basketball. I got North Carolina State with the upset because of the guards. I think the guards of North Carolina State is better than the guards from Purdue. And if they can get out there and run them off the 3-point line and North Carolina State can make a couple of baskets from the outside, I got North Carolina State. I just think that Burns is going to do just enough to keep Edey occupied. Edey probably get 30 because of his size, and he can shoot and, you know, shoot over Burns, and Burns don't get in foul trouble. You know, he plays smart and do what he's been doing. But I do think the guards of North Carolina State lock down the guards from Purdue, and they get the dub.
Too much Edey, too much Purdue. Cinderella story over. I got Purdue winning by 12.
The key to this game is going to come between, can they get Edey in foul trouble? If they can't get him in foul trouble, and can Big Boy finish over the top of Burns? Can Burns finish over top of Lent? Because you ain't gonna be able to like just use your body and push Edey back on his heels where you can create space. Because Edey got a wide body too. And the guard's gonna have to play. And can he stay out of foul trouble too? Because you know he got in early foul trouble against Duke, which hurt them earlier. He can't get in foul trouble either trying to guard Edey. Yeah. And what defense they gonna play? Are you gonna trap Edey, or are you gonna try to play him one-on-one with Big Boy? And but man, I got Purdue pulling this. I love to see NC State win it all, actually. But I'm gonna go with Purdue pulling this one out in a close one.
Oh yeah, I think Ray. I thought Ray has not said something, but yeah, I agree, man. I think the same thing. I'm with Keon on this one. I think it's gonna be very difficult shooting over that length. Now, I will say this: Burns has shown the ability to hit the mid-range jumper. He don't shoot a lot, but he has shown that ability to hit that mid-range. But it really is gonna be the guards, man. Like, can those guards for NC State put up another stellar performance defensively?
Yeah.
Because Purdue's gonna score. Purdue's gonna score points. So can they defend them? Can they defend them? I mean, because Tennessee played a different game than the NC State is gonna be able to play here. And Tennessee had a good perimeter game from their star player. But NC State, I think what's the other guy named is DJ. They're both are DJs.
Mm-hmm.
Every DJ is going to have a game like the guy from Tennessee had. He got like a good 20, 30 point strong game, because if they don't, they're not going to win this game. So if I got to pick them, toss up Purdue, I'm gonna go with DJ Barnes, man. I just feel like if he can hit that mid range, Edie's got to come out. And then they're gonna be able to back door and go to the basket all day long. So it's really the ability. It's really on Burns. This game's gonna be on DJ Burns. I know the other DJ's got to have a solid game, but he's gonna have to play off of him. Now, I think the one thing I'm underestimating is DJ Burns' passing ability.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So this may be the game where he become more facilitator, and if he can get that ball out and get to the right players. NC State got a chance, man. We'll never see. They got guys really playing into their roles. So we may see. Like I said, it's going to be Bama against NC State championship. Monday night, baby.
Oh, that'll be the worst ratings ever.
Night.
I'm going to be sleeping anyway. That game don't come on till like 9 o'clock, man. 9:30.
Oh, man, I think
I'm going to be asleep Monday, man.
I think we all will be asleep.
I'm going to catch the highlights.
We all will be asleep.
No matter who play.
All right, man. So let's go to the next topic here. Let's get to our final few topics, man. Let's talk about Stefan Diggs trade. When that news came out, man, that was impressive trade that the Houston Texas decided to go with. I mean, I was not expecting that. So let's talk about it real quick, man. Like, Ray, start us off. Like, what was your thoughts when that trade went through? The value that the Texans got. The value that the Bills got for Stefan, and are the Texans the best team in the AFC because of this move?
I'm not shocked by it, because I mean we heard chatter about it before last season, and you know, Stefan Diggs' production has went 1,000-fold once he got to Buffalo. He showed that he was one of the elite receivers in the league. I always thought he was one of the best route runners in the league. But when you having these type of explosions on the sideline at the star quarterback, the days are numbered. And when you got one of the best receiver drafts in a while, I think it made absolute sense to make it happen right now. We haven't had this type of talent come in the draft, probably maybe the Justin Jefferson draft probably. But I'm not surprised. And like I said, you can't be blowing up after a star quarterback constantly in playoff games. And we saw they kind of phased him out a little bit from a production standpoint last season towards the end. And then the playoff, Josh Allen wasn't forcing him the ball. So the writing was kind of on the wall. But I love the move for the Texans. I think it makes them one of the best teams in the AFC. They definitely got on the low, probably one of the better receiving cores in the league. Tank Dell had an amazing rookie year. Nico Collins showed he can be a number one receiver. And you throw Diggs in the mix, if he can just, keep his cool. But I think he will respect the head coach of D'Amico Ryans. I think D'Amico can kind of help him and put him in check, former player. I think he can command that type of respect. But the value, I mean, Buffalo got a second-round pick, I want to say, and they gave up a fifth and a sixth. Now, Buffalo, this is a deep draft from receiver, so you're going to get you somebody. And it showed that they really wanted to get rid of him. They eating $31.1 million in cap space. So, yeah, the writing was on the wall the last 2 years, so I'm definitely not shocked by it. And, shout out to Houston, man. They made some big moves this offseason, getting Joe Mixon. So, yeah, they loaded, bro, on paper.
Yeah, like I figured, like you said, it was like a marriage that both people said, it's time to go our separate ways. It was toxic. It was a toxic relationship. Like it it was hard to watch sometimes. You seen your star player go at your star receiver going at your quarterback, the social media posts, the brother posting, you need to get up out of there. It would just get messy. And Buffalo probably think they got a chance to get a good receiver. You know, you always gonna have receivers want to come play with a good quarterback, no matter what. You know, somebody gonna want the opportunity to come play. So it's a good look for Houston. You know, coming from last year, the run they made were not even great receivers. Now they got actually a good receiving core that's gonna make their ball club better. You know, if CJ keep on taking the scribe, he don't have no rookie hangover if he continue to be great like I think he will. Definitely. Now that you're putting veterans players around him that can make plays for him, that where some nights he ain't gotta be the Superman to save it. You know, the defense good, young. So like the way they heading. And for Buffalo, man, like I think they'll get another receiver that wanna be there. You wanna have people that wanna be there. And Diggs didn't want to be there no more. So and like Ray said, when Joe Brady started calling the offense, it just wasn't. Let's force the ball to Diggs anyway. Where Josh Allen creating, and most of his turnovers are coming a lot for forcing throws, trying to make Diggs happy. So now that pressure goes away from him, where he ain't feel like, man, I got to get this dude 10, 12 touches a night. I can just play football and spread it around. So it's a good look for both parties. So.
And the writing was on the wall. First of all, you lose to Kansas City. Then you come back and lose again in the playoffs. And then you had a perfect position at home, and you lose again to Kansas City. You lost to Cincinnati. So it ain't just so much Diggs. Their window of opportunity was closing. And it really closed this year because you had a home game against Kansas City where you was the favorite, and you have a guy come on the road with boo-boo receivers and beat you at your own house. You see what I'm saying? So people not looking at that part of, and I get it, but this man went from 1,000-yard receiver to barely even getting 4 and 5 yard catches. You know what I mean? 4 catches a game. You see what I'm saying? And before Stefan got there, nobody wasn't talking about Josh Allen. They said he was okay, but when Stefan Diggs got there, his play went to another level. So now, okay, yes, it is a deep draft. Can Josh Allen be that quarterback like my man Mahomes and play with new receivers and get them to that next level? Because guess what? They stuck in that contract with the defensive end, so they still hurting with that money. So, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, it's a good move for both parties to free up some money, but then you eating that contract. Now, I like what the Texans did. He's going to be a free agent next year, after this year, because they voided that money, his back half of his contract. So that was a smart move by the Texans. So now, the Texans is all in because they feel like their defense is good enough. They got a couple of injuries that when they walked into the playoffs, they got a couple of injuries, and they got, beat down. But I think this year, health is going to be if they can stay healthy, they can make a run. Now, you still got to see that man out in Kansas City, but I still think, for both parties, it's a good situation. Diggs is around some other guys, like you say, D'Amico Ryan. They're going to put him in great positions, probably still be the number one. He probably still going to be the number one, but he has other receivers that they can go to and not just be him. And if he's a team player, the Texans can make some noise. But, I mean, the window of opportunity for them just closed. That's just the bottom line. They knew they weren't going to go nowhere. Other teams around them are getting better. The Jets are getting better, depending on health. Miami got some things. They getting better, and that's just what it is. So, I mean, for all parties, a good situation. I just think Diggs and it just ran out of time. The time was up.
Yeah, I think I don't even have to add any more. I think all you guys have said it the most. It's at that end point where, I mean, the conflict they were having between head coach, quarterback, receiver, it just wasn't there anymore. And I think they want to go a different direction in a way. They got rid of Gabe. They moved on from Gabe Davis. So it's an opportunity now to kind of revamp the receiving core, go a little younger, less expensive. I think having to carry that contract for Josh Allen was a lot. They got rid of I think it was Darius White.
Leonard Floyd.
Another player. So I think at this point you know the writing's on the wall. And then for Houston, man, listen, this puts a lot of emphasis on, CJ taking that next step. He now, going to his second year, he's still in that rookie deal. So that helps. The cost factor helps. You can still strengthen your defense. You got a lead receiver. You're going to have to eventually re-sign Nico Collins. So you know that's going to come down the pipeline. So you got a lot of different things. And then you still, with that, having him there, you can now let Tank Bale, you can let Tank kind of like get through the season. Make sure he just comes in healthy. He doesn't have to focus on being another lead receiver. And he could come in healthy and keep developing as he continues to go through his second and third season. So, man, listen, it should be a lot of highly enthusiasm as far as within the city of Houston and Texas, because they probably the best city. They've got to be the best team in Texas at this point. So it's got to be a lot of if I'm the Texans, I'm in Houston, you're excited. You want to be a part of this. You want to see what this team can do with this lineup, with these players, and man, the future's bright there. So, good for both organizations. I think Buffalo needed to change, and yet at the same time, great for Houston, because now they kind of get to that next level. And it totally leaves the Deshaun situation behind you. And now you can kind of continue moving forward in the career. And good job for the GM. I think that GM had been criticized a lot over the last few years, but clearly that Deshaun trade gave them a lot of capital. Because I think that trade allowed them to trade with the Cardinals because they had a lot of pieces left from that trade, and it allowed them to go pick up and get the linebacker from Willie Anderson Jr. So that helped, man. So having those parts put a lot of things in place for this team, and now they have the opportunity to go and try to compete for at least an AFC championship. So shout out to Houston for that.
Yeah, they should find a way to sanction play them every other year. I love going to Houston to a game.
Yeah, Houston is a.
You should play them every other year.
It's a different vibe. Houston is a different
H-Town
vibe. Like different. That thing is something else. We'll leave it there. All right, man. So let's talk about Bronny, bro. Well, last topic for the day. Bronny has got his options going. He's gonna enter the NBA draft process. He's also going to enter transfer portal, or he has the option to stay at USC because they just got a new coach. They just brought in the coach from Arkansas. So, Keith, start us off here. When you heard that Bronny thoughts are that he's wanting to enter the NBA draft, what were you thinking, and where you think the best decision should be for Bronny and for the James family?
I was shocked he declared, but with the best decision for him. And I thought about it. Maybe they just trying to engage because he's not losing eligibility. I guess they trying to engage where he's at, even by him declaring. If somebody come back like, nah, he ain't a first round pick, he can go back to college and say, oh, this the reason why he's not. This is what you need to work on. Because he's still in the transfer pool. And I just feel like me personally, I wouldn't even, if you can get a man, you can get a man. I ain't mad at you. But for me, I would have just told him, man, let's just focus on what our next chapter. Okay, where we gonna go to school at? You know what I'm saying? Play a full year, you had the heart attack early on in the season. You came late. They probably had what's going on. Let's just get things happen. I know my goal is to play with you before I leave, but right now, at the end of the day, it's about you. How can we develop you to be the best player you are, where you ain't coming to the league and nobody saying, man, he only in the league because his dad. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to be given this. You want to earn this. That way, nobody can ever say nothing if you earn it. So, but me personally, I think they just doing it to see, where he's at, if there's even interest in him. If not, what are the scouts saying you need to work on, why you're not, and then they go from there. You know, it's always a plan with LeBron and this team. So, but definitely, I think the kid need to stay in college and just develop. It might not take 2 years. It might take 3 years. It might take 4 years. I love what Carmelo Anthony said. Like sometimes you can't rush the process. He ain't telling his son, no, we won't be a 1 year done. No, we gonna develop you. We gonna get you right, because when you get on that stage, man, it's grown men over there. Everybody was all American. The dude on the end of the bench ain't coming out his warm up suit. He was Mr. Basketball in his high school or college. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So you know, same thing happened to D Wade, son. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You sometimes, you know, you gotta just say let's go the route through college. I might not be a one and done player, and you know, some people develop over time. Some people one and done. Some people might take 2-3 years to click. But you know what I'm saying? So I think they just need to sit down, and I think this more just trying to evaluate and see where he's at, what the lead is saying, what's his strengths, what he need to work on. But you really didn't play a season of basketball, bro. You really wasn't. I think he averaged like 4 points something a game. Probably was playing 10 minutes, if that. You barely was even getting on at USC.
Man, you know what? You know how many points he scored a game. You text us and send and start laughing. So don't even try to. It's like don't try to act like you like. What was he? What was it? Play? You knew what it was because you sent it to us and you were laughing. So man, he ended the draft 4.8. We know, like, don't try to act like you forgot that you sent that.
Exactly.
And it was yesterday at that. So you try to act like out of nowhere you don't remember anymore. Man, come on, man.
So yeah, my take is, bro, the kids should stay in college, man.
Yeah, I mean, I like the decision to at least test the waters. The NBA now gives you that opportunity to get the evaluation without losing eligibility, and you know, get the information, make the right decision. I think he's going to come back. Now, what school he's going to go to, that'll be the decision. LeBron's longtime friend is over at Duquesne now, taking over Drew Joyce. So we'll see, man. But I think, you know, it's good for him to at least get the evaluation. And the one thing we've seen over with Bronny over the years, he's athletic. He's probably no more than 6'2", 6'3". He has the athletic ability. And if he can play defense, bro, somebody will always find a spot for you in the NBA. But yeah, it's good to get the evaluation, but I think he's going to come back for another year.
Man, you and Keon be around the dang bush, bro. Man, listen, the boy needs to stay in school.
I said that, Donovan.
No, I'm agree, but you were going around it and trying to make it easy. Bro, listen.
I was saying the reason they put him in the draft just to get the evaluation.
Well, we know what the evaluation is. The boy don't need to go. We ain't got to evaluate nothing. What we gonna evaluate? He didn't play. You was half sick, bro. You sat out a whole year. Half of a year. You sat out a half a year with a serious situation. What is me to evaluate? Because I mean, get it. He's a good defensive player. He had a couple of good maybe 1 or 2 good games. But at the end of the day, this kid is not ready. He's just not ready. And I get it. LeBron want to play with his son, all this and that. I get that too. But like you said, what Carmelo said, why rush him? Why rush him to the league? You know what I'm saying? To satisfy what you want to do in life? Come on, bro. Let that kid develop. He needs to develop, and he probably will be as good. He probably won't be like him, but he'll be a good NBA player. But people so want to rush these kids into the NBA, and then when they get there and don't develop and don't be who we think they should be, then we call them a bum. And I just think that's where LeBron needs to realize, man, let your son take the process, bro. Let him take the process. If you don't play with him, you don't play with him. If he makes it to the league and get on one of the teams, tell the team to sign you to a 10-day contract after you retire. You know what I'm saying? But let this kid take the process and don't put him in a situation where if he doesn't make it or he doesn't perform to the level that you feel like he can perform or other people feel like he can perform, it won't be a lot of backlash on that. Man, get this kid a chance. Let him work through it, bro.
I mean, man, this is one of those things that you hate to talk about because he's an 18, 19-year-old kid. I don't know who's giving him information. I would think that his father would be giving him all the information that he needs. which should help. But I mean, we don't know what his potential is because we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it because he hasn't really played. He was on a team where they were really young, they weren't really good. The coach left immediately after the season's over to take a job at SMU, which tell me that the environment at USC must suck. Because why would you go from Los Angeles to Dallas? It's beyond me.
Unless they're going to fire him and told him we don't want to fire you, but I'm just getting your heads up.
Well, they were going to fire him. Then he's going to leave anyway. He left.
I'm saying he probably left because they told him, look, we want to go in a new direction. I'm just saying maybe that happened.
Why don't you just fire him? I mean, why do you need to tell him? He left. Let's say you were going to tell him. Let's say you were going to fire him. He left anyway. So he already knew in his mind he was gone. So I'm just confused, man. Like, I think the kid needs to go somewhere where, one, when he came out, I didn't think he was. I don't think his from what I had seen, the way he had I don't say the word is group, but where he had when he finally reached his potential in high school was like his senior year. So I thought he should have went to a smaller university anyway, not a major big market university like Los Angeles. I thought he could have went somewhere a little bit smaller that would have gave him an opportunity to have the ball in his hands, play a little bit more. I thought the guy that came there, Isaiah, I think is
the boy from Georgia.
The kid from Isaiah Collar.
Yeah, he from Georgia. He was the number one recruit coming out, if I remember. And I thought that both of them were the same type of players. So I didn't see where he was going to be able to play over him if that's the same type of player they had. So I just my expectations that I didn't think he was going to be able to utilize his talent the way he wants to in that environment. I thought he should have went to a smaller university that's going to allow him to get the ball in his hands, and he will be able to develop his talent. And I think that's what he needed. And going to a private university, Sierra, whatever the hell is, Sierra Canyon.
And I know they produce a lot of talent, but I don't know the players that I'm just not very much aware of the players that played. I think the last one is the one that got the fine mom. What's the dude name? The one that went to UCLA.
Really?
He in the league now.
Where? Because he don't play.
Yeah, he in the league.
He don't play. I think the Clippers, isn't he?
Yeah, he on some team, but yeah, he in the league now.
Yeah.
But he don't play. I think he was in the G League at one point too.
Might be probably bouncing back and forth.
He's bouncing back and forth. So I don't really know what they produce like that. So I just thought he could have just went somewhere else, kind of got some foundation. You know what I mean? And then get away from his parents.
Yeah.
I thought getting away from his dad, being at the games, always on the front court. Man, that can be a little much.
It can be.
Right. I think that can be a little much.
I mean, expectation huge, man. The feel
it's huge. I just thought he could have went somewhere. I think he should have went somewhere where his dad ain't around. Maybe he could have went to a whole different city, right? And build his own legacy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And be with an NBA style coach. I would love to see him at Georgia Tech with Damon Stoudemire, or man, come up here to Georgetown. Something like get you a whole different experience that that's just not cultivated with your father sitting right there. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't like the look for him. And hopefully if he does go to college, he goes somewhere that's not that he can get away, he can just build his own legacy and not worry about his parents being in the front row every time. Man, go get a suite. In a way, you rich. like I don't know what parent is rich that keep where the parents be on the front row. The rich parents get a suite. Man. The rich parents get a suite anyway. So yeah, man, I just and the NBA thing, I don't even know what that's about. I mean, if you don't want nobody to think that you're going in, you want people to think you're going on your own merit, you shouldn't go to the pros right now because everybody would think that you're going because
if you get drafted, bro.
Yeah, everybody knows
the reason why.
Everybody thinks it's because of your dad.
You don't want that. As a kid, I wouldn't even want that. You know what I mean?
If you want to create your own legacy, you damn sure don't want to go into the league and then get drafted because people can be like, man, that man averaged 4.8 a game and did not start. Sound like you know his average. Well, you texted to us.
You texted to us.
So,
You text us
don't act
everything.
like you didn't text us what his average was. So
Yeah,
Yeah, when I saw the average, I was like 4.8. Sound like a top 5 pick to me.
Lottery
pick.
like, yeah, bro. Yeah, man. You averaging 4.8 a game. Come on, man. That's not even a second round pick. That's a free agent.
Man, that ain't even that. Most agents will be like, I ain't even taking you, bro.
Hey, and then he
my time. I'll call up an agent averaging 4.8 saying, bro, I want to enter myself in the draft. They're gonna say, what? Man, look. Bro,
hey, look, hey James, then he texted at 2:54.
Bro,
2:54 early in the day, early on Friday, 2:54.
Yeah.
I was all Friday.
And
bro.
look, and you had the nice. And look, you did it like the newspaper. You had the writing, everything clear. Like,
Yeah,
come on, kid.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, he'll laugh. He had a good laugh on that. He was in his house laughing about that one.
Yo,
I was
that's
like,
sad.
what? Let's get in Giannis brothers vibes.
Hey, Keith.
Even like Thaddeus, at least he played professional overseas. Like, that's just tough, man.
Giannis brothers vibes, yo.
I'm
telling you what, my Lakers better not be the idiots.
Oh man.
The hell no, it won't.
Oh man.
We sell tickets in LA anyway. If we ain't got a problem selling tickets in LA. They better not get caught up in that bull.
But for real, they don't like with him. You can't waste a draft pick, bro. You just can't. Like I get it, but you can't just waste a draft pick on a kid. Like you said, average 4.8. Hell, yeah, we probably can average 4 points, make 1 3-point free throw.
That's the standard, bro. It's a lot of people in the league.
Exactly.
You can be a lot of people in the league.
Yeah.
If that's the new standard.
Well, why have LeBron say I ain't re-signing that contract unless you bring my son?
Man, bye. We ain't got a chip since COVID. That's been 5 years ago. Bye. Is that what it take? Bye. We ain't got a chip since COVID.
Yeah.
At least Giannis won what 3 years ago, 2 years, whatever.
But he could be on the sideline like Giannis' brother, jump around. They put him in the game.
No, bro.
With about 30 seconds left.
That's wasting a talent spot. And for real, you know, and he's a good player, but he wasn't Mr. Basketball in high school. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't Gatorade, this and that. You know what I'm saying? In high school. Not saying he can't get to that level. I'm just saying when you went to USC, it wasn't like he was coming out at Mr. California basketball.
True. So yeah, hey, Key. On a different note, Don got missed Gatorade high school basketball though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He wasn't coming out like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. But
It's gonna be interesting, man. Let me give y'all a quick little announcement right quick. Since we had a discussion one time that it ain't about Caitlyn Clark, it's about everybody. Last night game had 14.2 million viewers, man. That's what they average on ESPN.
Yeah.
The most watched game in women's college basketball history. Guess who was a part of it again? Caitlyn Clark.
No, Caitlyn Clark is the biggest draw right now. But then you got a storyline thing with UConn. Shit, I think the championship game gonna do more than that.
They're gonna do 20.
At the end of the day, it's still.
Oh yeah, it's the draw. That's what I said. That's
what I've been
part of her
saying this
impact.
time. She
That's part of her impact. Now you're gonna have, like you said, like it was last year. Now it's more people invested into watching college basketball because of last year. Now you're gonna have, hate to say it, it's gonna be a divided country tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's how it was in LSU and her last year. You're gonna have a divided country. So they did 12 million with LSU. Did 14 last
it's gonna
night.
Be 20 tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be
20 at least.
Yes,
it's gonna be 20.
Yes,
it's gonna be crazy, bro. She puts a lot of butts in the seats when it comes to this basketball game, man. And she got the whole Middle America. That's what people don't forget. She got the whole Middle America with her. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
We forget about places like Nebraska.
The Aces moved their game from their arena to the T-Mobile arena.
So when
8,000,
yeah. So when
they know what's happening.
Yeah,
when she goes pro, that's when that's gonna happen.
Yep.
And if I'm the Sparks, I draft Angel with that second pick.
Cause they're in the same division, right?
No, I don't know if they are now. I'm just saying that's gonna sell seats. People
No,
are
I don't
talking
know.
about
I think she's gonna be with the Indiana. She's gonna get drafted by Indiana Fever.
Fever one. I'm saying because the Sparks got 2 picks. The
Mm.
number 2 pick you get one, but I think they got a 2 and a 5 or 2 and a 4. One of them picks I'm getting Angel because now you want WNBA got to get up where people want to sit there and watch WNBA like we doing for college basketball right now. And Angel personality in LA will be huge.
It's perfect for her.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, I think this is we're on an incline when it comes to women's basketball overall, and hopefully these two ladies, especially Angel and Caitlyn, when they're coming to the league, hopefully they can be like a Magic and
Magic Birds, like
Bird.
boost the lead, because it's gonna follow them. They're gonna be compared to each other.
Yep.
To their career. They're gonna be
They
compared
boost the league up. They can boost the league up and build more dollars and put the league in $1 billion phase so that some of these ladies can pay more as the salaries goes up. And then by the time they get there, hopefully they get around there where Juju made her name. And when Juju comes in there, she's like the MJ coming in.
And Flo Wiley, all them come in that freshman class.
All them coming behind
it. And the thing about college basketball, it's so many good freshmen, bro. It's so many. It's so
especially
many.
The girl that know the game.
If I'm a WNBA, y'all should call me. Y'all should pick it back coming in next year. Have like that Angel Reese and Caitlyn commercial. Like the bird. Me say like who was
Bird and Magic.
Bird and Magic. That's what I'm coming in next year with. We need to Sprite or whoever.
So they're gonna be Nikes, more than likely.
We need to do it, but Angel, it can't be Nike because Angel with Reebok.
Is she?
Yes, she signed with Reebok.
She signed with Reebok.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that Shaq deal. I think she got like about 20 mil or something for Reebok. But yeah, if I'm them like McDonald's or somebody, whatever, I'm going that route.
They gonna be a hot ticket.
All right, man. So that's our last topic for the day. Let's get our final thoughts when we get up out of here. Ray, start us out. What's your final thoughts, man?
And packed show, man. You know, it's good to all 4 of us be back in it. Man, you know, we'll be doing a live podcast at the St. James on Friday. Looking forward to it, man, to continue to expand the brand, and you know, a good one.
Man, down goes Frazier. You know, your man Street Clothes and like he done got hurt. But on a different note, man, great show. Street Clothes. Anthony Davis, Street Clothes. Anthony Davis, like he hurt his ankle just now. He up, he walking around, he walking back.
Yeah, he been playing ball this year.
Yeah. So yeah, man, great show. Glad to be back in the saddle with the boys. Now I gotta go head out to this party with my son, and you know, hopefully he performs well next week at the Gridiron game. You know, he playing, so let's keep this thing moving.
Quick question: how excited are you that you know that your son's gonna be playing in this All-Star tournament, man?
You know what, man? It's crazy to see the growth from when he was little. He played basketball, whatever. We always played flag, never played tackle. And just to see the growth and how he's like starting to learn the game better and willing to go work out and want to put the work in, it's a beautiful thing for me. You know what I'm saying? To just, you know, he understands, you know, he does well in school, and that's the biggest part. He does well at school. You know, he just got invited to the junior scholar, you know, thing. So, you know, it's a beautiful thing, man, to see your kids go from one end to the next, and hopefully we can just keep them in the same situation for our sports and education and keep it moving.
Right on. Good. Can you say something, man?
I ain't say nothing.
Oh, okay. Are you saying something or?
Right.
Well, about what? I thought
Wrapping
you.
up the show.
Oh, wrapping up the show. My bad. Oh yeah. Good. Another. Thanks to our guest who came on, man. I love what he doing with the youth. What's my man name?
Ratcliff
Thomas.
Yeah.
Who you played for?
Colts.
He played for the Panthers, Indianapolis. He did, I think, a little bit of time with Baltimore.
Okay, so I love what he doing, which he don't have to do to give back and pour into the youth the knowledge he had. So that's always great to see when people come back and give back to his community. You know, like he say, he born and raised here. you know what I'm saying, the influence and the contacts he have here. He's sharing the knowledge and you know, because he done been there, done that at the highest level. So thanks for you being on the show. Giving us the opportunity, like we said again, this weekend, come next weekend. And so, you know, this is another great show. You know, just continue growing the platform.
Yeah, man. Everybody said it, man. Look out for us next week. We'll be definitely part of that event. We're super excited about it. All day Friday, all weekend. We'll be a part of the podcast row. So check us out there. We'll push this out pretty early so that you guys can hear what we got going on and hear that interview. So, but yeah, man. Outside of that, bro, I don't have nothing else. Let's get out of here.
Sure.
Talking about what we talking about.